MP, it's our final event of the year.
Oh, it's all a bit sad, Bretto, but after 4 big events for 2018, we are going out with a bang with one more wellness base camp, and the location for this one is regional Victoria. The great town of Bendigo awaits.
Oh, and how's this for a lineup, MP? Bendigo will be rocking with the rock star of wellness, Damien Christoph.
The art of self-love angel herself, Kim Morrison, hits the stage.
As will the natural nutritionist, Steph Lowe.
And I'll tell you what, Steph's presentation at the summit on fasting was a showstopper. You'll be there, Bretto. I'll be there too.
And Wendy Stewart from Wendy's Way will be there to share her inspirational story, which really did go off at the Wellness Summit earlier this year.
It's Saturday, October 27 at the beautiful All Seasons Resort Hotel in Bendigo, and tickets are selling fast.
2-for-1 tickets for this one day of inspiration, information and empowerment are available at thewellnessbasecamp.com.
That's right, folks. Get your 2-for-1 tickets at thewellnessbasecamp.com before they run out, and then the price goes up.
Finish your year of wellness in style at the Wellness Base Camp in Bendigo, Saturday, October 27.
Tickets at thewellnessbasecamp.com.
TheWellnessCouch.com, streaming wellness into your lives. This is Up for a Chat with Cindy O'Mara, Karen Smith, and Kim Morrison.
Here we are, up for a chat about the hottest topics that are important to you, inspiring you to awaken the change within and look fabulous. I'm Karen Smith.
I'm Kim Morrison.
And I'm Cindy O'Meara.
And there's a reason why we're talking about being fabulous and looking fabulous, is because today's guest is the amazing Briony Kennedy, who is the founder and owner of an amazing cosmetic and makeup range called Adorn Cosmetics. Now, I honestly don't know how long Kimmy has been talking about you, Briony, but it's been a long time. And I have your website in front of me right now, and the most delicious pictures are flashing past my screen, showcasing your gorgeous products. But you know what I'm loving is they're vegan. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my gosh. Welcome to Up for a Chat. What an honor it is to have you on the show. Kimmy, tell us about how you know this gorgeous soul while I keep scrolling through this website at the, oh, my God, look. Oh, my God, you've even got skincare. You've got lips, eyes, face. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we have it all. We have it all.
Samples, sets, refills. Okay, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to look at the website. You guys talk. I'm going to place some orders.
So Briony, I just want you to know I have followed you for a long time, and I absolutely love the work that you do. I have used your makeup now, I think, since you started, which I'd love you to tell us your story. But I also want you to know that I really appreciate your Instagram page. Because a woman like me who's 50, we don't always know the best way to treat our skin and do our makeups.
Yeah.
So before we get into more about what your brand is and could you give us a little bit of a background as to who you are and how you came to creating the beautiful Adorn Cosmetics?
Sure. So, look, I guess, how do you summarise how you land up where you are? It's been a long journey, and I'll have to be upfront and honest. It's been a very hard at times journey. So I guess for me, look, without going into my life too much before Adorn, and feel free later if you want to know about that. That's also a very interesting story, I'm sure. But the reason I started Adorn was simply because of my own personal, I guess, requirements around beauty and cosmetics. I was just getting a bit fed up with looking at products in stores. I thought, I've got the time for this. There's just so much. Reading all these ingredients, it's driving me nuts. And you would find one brand that would have one or two products that would sit well with what I wanted in respects to the ethos of what I like to follow. But then the rest of their range wouldn't. or they change the formulation down the track, and it was like a minefield. So for me, I really wanted a Chanel of the natural world. So 9 years ago, I thought that there's just nothing luxury about anything natural. And so for me, I wanted still to feel that there was a special element of purchasing a lipstick or a foundation and feel that there was quality, but at the same time that it was going to deliver the results that I wanted. So I really just created Adorn, if I'm honest, for myself, and hopefully along the way to help educate other women on how simple it is just to enhance their own natural looks. And I think one of the things that I get frustrated with, especially now, is that a lot of the tutorials and the help type style videos that you see are all about women watching girls that are half their age contouring their face within an inch of looking like someone else. And that's not realistic for everyday people. So, and anybody with that amount of makeup on is going to look good. You probably wouldn't want to step out in public with that amount of makeup on. We just want to enhance our own natural selves and at the same time know what's suitable for us. And I guess entering that mature age myself, I thought this is really just unfair that women sort of even 35 plus are just ignored at the beauty counter. They're just not really given the attention. Whether it's because the staff don't know what to do with our faces, I don't know. But I just felt that it was unfair. So for me, I really have enjoyed delivering a guilt-free luxury brand to women, but also focusing on how these women can actually utilise these products without wasting their money on things that are not suitable for them, really pinpointing what they can use for their face. Like, for example, there's no point selling eyeliner to someone with droopy eyelids. You know, it's really trying to dispel the myths around what you should and shouldn't be doing and just assist that way. So that's really why I started it. And, you know, from there it was just around adding things to the range as customers wanted more and more.
And can you tell us, Briony, from your own perspective, you as a person, tell us a bit about your family. I mean, why did you choose to go cruelty-free when we know that there are so many ways to make cosmetics and skincare that include the nasties, that had the chemicals that make it more slick, make it smell amazing, and make it seem to puff the skin and do all the things that we want? What's your ethos and your beliefs in behind vegan, cruelty-free, and making it a natural?
Yeah, look, I've always had a love and a passion for animals, and, you know, right back from when I was about 5 years of age, I had a backyard full of animals. My poor parents just gave up even trying to say I couldn't bring any more home. So I had 2 bird aviaries. I had about 4 rabbit hutches full of guinea pigs and rabbits. I had turtles, I had fish, quail. I had all sorts of mice. You name it, my backyard was full of them. And I had a little business myself at the time that I even have the profit and loss book for. So obviously I've been a bit of an entrepreneur at heart for a long time, but really for me, having that understanding of animals and that compassion, and also understanding ingredients, you know, look, most ingredients you could argue have been tested somewhere along the line, but I really don't feel there's a need for that anymore. Yes, there are brands that are introducing new ingredients that are really down the science realm, and yes, you know, they're wanting to test those because they're new ingredients. But for me, I think there's enough ingredients that have been proven to be safe, that are just as effective, and I believe that they're the ingredients to stick with. So for me, I just don't feel that that's a field we need to be in, when, you know, you've got some pure, beautiful minerals that deliver such amazing pigments, such great coverage. Less is more, and I think sometimes that's the same with ingredients. You know, you don't need so many ingredients in there to do amazing things. So for me, cruelty-free is something that I'm passionate about because I love animals. I think it's unnecessary. can't stand the thought of putting a lipstick on when I know, you know, something's being dropped in a rabbit's eye, and I just can't stomach that. So from that point of view, that's why I've decided to go with the Choose Cruelty Free accreditation and the Vegan Society accreditation. Really, for me, I want Adorn to be a brand that women have so much faith in, they don't even bother to read the ingredients anymore when we bring a new product out, because they know from our ethics and our integrity from all the other things that we've got over the last 9 years. They have such a belief, they have such trust in us that they know all of those products are covered by cruelty-free, vegan. We're certified allergen-free, certified toxin-free. We're Australian-made, bar a couple of products that I get made organically overseas in the USA. But everything there they just believe and have such good faith in that they don't need to, like I was 9 years ago, siphoning through shelves to try and find something to suit my beliefs. So that's really why I've gone that extra mile to get these accreditations. And look, there's a lot of brands that will say they're cruelty-free or they're vegan or they're suitable for sensitive skin, but saying it and actually proving it are two very different things. So the accreditations that I proudly have are very hard to get, but they don't cost a lot of money. So there's no excuse for a brand not to have them. Our vegan certification for a new product can take it can take 6 months sometimes to get it, because they are that thorough about every single ingredient and how it's processed. It's unbelievable the amount of work that goes into having the products certified. So for me, when a brand says that there's something but they've not got those certifications, I have to question that really. But for me, I'm very proud about giving a product that is fully covered by any possible guilt-free aspect that a woman could want. And not just that, we've gone that extra mile. We were the first company worldwide to offer a refill program. We've had a couple of other companies I can see are now doing that, but we had a refill program for our loose foundation, loose products, which I'm really proud about. One of my main things that I'm really, I suppose, concerned about is plastic. Yes, I'm passionate about cruelty-free, but for me, plastic is the biggest killer that the environment is exposed to, and it's across the board. It's killing everything, and it's the oceans, it's the earth, it's everything. You know, I mean, things are getting stuck in turtles' mouths and around. Like it's just revolting. So for me, the refill program that Adorn offers is actually what I'm most passionate about, getting women to reuse their packaging. And just purchasing our refill sachets. So it's not just about the fact that the refill sachet takes up less plastic. It's about delivering that product. So when a customer selects a refill, we don't have to package that as much to get it to you safely without it breaking. So it's very much an end-to-end plastic reduction program that we're proud of. And also I guess another thing that I really am proud of is that we don't put our packaging in any outer boxes. So we did have a lot of people saying, oh, look, you're selling a luxury product and you don't put boxes, and how it is, you know, it's not going to look good just in the pot. But I've always been adamant that we're never, ever, ever going to put the products in anything more than what they need to be, so that you'll never have a glorified outer box on anything. To me, what's the point? It's more landfill, and I just have a big beef about waste. So I'm a minimalist is probably what I like to summarise myself as.
Oh, I love what you stand for, Briony. I've just been listening to you go through everything, and you know, sometimes you find someone who's vegan or with cosmetics or not cruelty-free or cruelty-free. I mean, but to have that whole thing about plastics and recycling and as well as not put that packaging, because that's the one thing that really annoys me, is that I go, I'm just going to take it out of there and I'm going to throw it out. You know, it's like shoes. There's just so many things that are doing that. So I congratulate you. Now, the question I have for you is these ingredients, you know, that I look at cosmetics and shampoos and conditioners and makeups and things like that, and why do they have to have 50,000 ingredients? Like, seriously, it's like 50 lines and there's 10 on each line. How do they figure that formulation out? Because you must have been through this. You're about minimalist. You're minimalizing the amount of ingredients. What is the reasoning behind all of those ingredients, and do they all contribute, or are they just fillers? What is that?
Sure. So a little bit of, I guess, Science 101 then, and also too around legislation, and I think this is something that I will be doing some tutorials on around the education of these ingredients, and not all of them because there's just so many, but essentially a lot of the even natural ingredients can appear to have a very odd name, and it's the scientific name. Just because you can't read something doesn't necessarily mean it's not natural. What happens is when you're labelling a cosmetic, if you're wanting it to reach international standards, which means that it's recognised worldwide and it's in a saleable condition, you need to use ingredients that are INCI standard, and that's INCI, and it just means that you're using the scientific approved name for that particular ingredient. So whether it's jojoba oil or whatever it is, there'll be a specific name. Now, where the confusing aspect of this comes from is that, like if we use palm oil as an example, that can be labelled so many different ways. So you almost need a science degree to know what these ingredients are. So I'm not sure what the short answer is to, you know, if you're not in the field of cosmetics to ever know and understand completely without Google searching every ingredient what it is. But for me, I feel that unless an ingredient actually has come from the ground, it doesn't get used. So for me, if it's not somehow derived from our earth or a plant, then it's not going to get into our formulations. So that's one, I suppose, stance that we have. And it must be from a sustainable source, or a source that's not employing slave labour, child labour, that type of thing. So, you know, we're quite passionate about that. So look, some brands, I guess, will compromise, I think, their formulations because they're building their brand to an audience. So you'll find some companies will say, okay, well, we're going to develop a brand and we really want to hit the market that's this particular age or this particular bracket of spending. So we're going to create a foundation for this market and it'll be around $20. So then what they'll do is develop a product to suit that market and that, I suppose, demographic that's going to spend that on a foundation. And so there comes the compromise that for them to produce that, they then may look at using alternatives to make it a bit cheaper, and it could be things like bismuth oxychloride or talc, rice powder, you know, any sort of dimethicone, which is like a silicone, so any sort of filling ingredients to bulk up the product. So you think, wow, I'm getting 30 grams of loose mineral foundation, as opposed to, say, Adorn, who gives you 8. But in effect, you know, our 8 grams is so concentrated because it's only minerals, it's only mineral pigments, as opposed to, say, the 30-gram pot that's full of talc, which we know is translucent, dries the skin out, and it doesn't even do anything. So it is a little bit of that element. And look, you know, I guess sometimes when people are using ingredients that can go rancid quite easily, they've got to use heavy preservative systems, also depending on the packaging they're using. So one thing that we do where possible is use airless packaging, and I really, if you can, no matter what you're using, try and get something in airless. Air oxidizes everything, which means it ages everything. You just cut an apple open and it starts to go brown. That's oxidization. So the same occurs with your products. So when you spend $200-300, which is just obscene, on a small jar of night cream and it's not in an airless container and that lid's off and on every day, it's going to change the integrity of that product because there's air getting into it. So for that not to go rancid because of the air, they need to use, you think, parabens and all those heavy-duty preservatives. So for me, everything that needs to be protected from going off, it needs to be in an airless where possible. No air gets in. It's very, very hard for bacteria to breed. It also maintains the integrity of your ingredients. So, you are getting bang for your dollar. You're not, spending $100 on something and then after a few months it's just not working because the ingredients have started to dilute in their purpose. Also, from a landfill perspective, I think airless packaging is amazing because you as a customer, you get full use of the product. You don't have 10 mils of it stuck at the bottom that you can't get to, which means you're throwing things out more frequently than you need to and contributing to landfill. So for me, it's about, quality as well as obviously giving customers what they're actually paying for as well. So look, the ingredient side of things, I think, I just think you're never going to, unless you do this science degree, and know what all of it stands for. So for me, I think it's really important that you look for these accreditations that the customers are wanting, whatever's important to them, and everybody's got a different ethos around what they're happy to purchase. So whatever it is that I suppose that you are comfortable with, look for those accreditations. Make sure they're not using parabens, make sure they're not using perfume or synthetic fragrances. So that's really, I suppose, the easiest, although it's not the answer, the easiest way, I think, to look out for things you do and don't want.
Oh, no, I think you answered that absolutely beautifully. I'm one of those people that I look for less ingredients all the time, and one of the things I do is I hate that packaging where you were talking about you lose 10% of it, because I'm that person that has a tube, cuts the tube in half, and continues to suck everything out of it that I can possibly suck out of it.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
I don't know if I learned that from my mother or what it was, but I hate not getting everything out of that tube, including toothpaste.
Yeah, and look, and I think probably from our parents' generation, that's just learning to be frugal because, they probably needed to be. But I think that it's a great thing for them to have taught us because inadvertently, I suppose, it's also whether that's the reason you're doing it or not, it is actually helping landfill as well because you're keeping that product for an extra couple of weeks rather than throwing it out and getting something else. So for me, I'm just... everything around, I guess for me, look, I mean, I love social media. I mean, that's how I built my brand, and I started it way before anybody even used Facebook for businesses. So I love it. But what I hate, I guess, about the social media side of things now is that, people see things and they're seeing so much of things that everyone wants everything yesterday. And so what happens with that is we're over consuming, and it doesn't matter whether it's food, it's products, whatever it is, the overconsumption of today's society is just, to me, I find it really quite vulgar, and I'm a bit saddened by it because that's what's killing the earth. And yes, we can talk about being cruelty-free and all of those things, but the more we're wanting to consume everything now and have everything now is what's causing the biggest environmental issue, I believe, because we're just choking the earth. And we can sit here and just buy cruelty-free products. That's amazing. But that's not going to stop the problem. And so for me, it's really about questioning, do you need this? Can you make do with what you've got? Is this product going to, or is whatever it is I'm buying, is this going to give me maximum results? There's no point buying a $2 T-shirt that you're replacing next year. Spend a little bit more, and know that you're passing that money on to a well-deserved business, and also that, you're going to get some good wear out of it. So, there's so many things that I'm passionate about, and Adorn for me is just one way I hope I can help people minimise their impact, but without sacrificing on the quality and without sacrificing on feeling like you've got something a bit luxurious in your life, because life's tough. And, you need to reward yourself, even if it is with a nice lipstick occasionally.
You can't do without a nice lipstick, I must admit. And you know what? I keep losing mine, because that's the one thing that I do put on is lipstick, and I keep losing them out of my bag. I don't know what the problem is, but somebody's getting my nice lipsticks.
Well, I'm around for you, Cindy.
Pardon?
I said it's lucky that I'm around for you and always have a little pouch handy.
As you did last night. I'm like we're going up on the stage and I have no lipstick because it fell out of my bag. I absolutely love what you stand for, because I feel like I haven't heard somebody speak like you regarding makeup and cosmetics, and I have a real struggle with makeup and cosmetics. So, I'm going to be one of those people who come and purchase from you now, because I didn't know that was your ethos, and I love an ethos like that, and I want to support people like you. And I would say most of our listeners are very much like you, would like what you're offering, and
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I'm hogging you. Sorry, I don't know what Kim and Karen ask.
That's all right. Go for it.
So I'm just sort of on the other end of the spectrum, thinking to myself now, like, I've only really been into the whole natural side of things since I met Cindy about 12 years ago. Because before that, I didn't even know to question. I didn't know that there was an alternative. I wasn't, it just, until somebody shows you an alternative, unfortunately, based on our robotically conditioned minds, we don't even know to ask the question.
Yeah, that's right. And that's interesting you should say that, because I had someone say to me a couple of days ago that came into the office, a customer, and she said, Briony, I didn't even know that I wanted luxury products without the guilt, but that's what I've been looking for. I wanted the luxe feel, but I didn't want the guilt that went with it. And you're right, unless you're given the alternative, sometimes you don't know.
And I think that certainly for me, because I'm very, very girly, not quite like Bear Grylls, our beautiful Cindy, I'm really girly. And so I remember when I was young, I was an Avon sales rep when I was 9.
Oh, yeah.
Because I loved makeup. And I'd sit on my floor on a Sunday afternoon and I'd empty out my Avon drawer and I would try different colours on my eyes and I would different lipsticks, and I had books that I would read so that I could learn how to apply the makeup properly at the age of 9. Seriously. I think I was born wearing lipstick. I'm positive.
That's gorgeous.
And when I grew up, like my mum got me under my first eye cream when I was 11, and we used to sit and do our nails together from the age of, I think I was 6.5. And so I was always very girly and very much into that whole self-care sort of thing with makeup and beautiful products. As I got older and started making money, I started looking for better quality products. And, of course, they're out there. But then I started to see that there was one product that I used. It was called Peo.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I remember when I started using Peo, oh, my God, my skin, I have to be really honest, my skin looked amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, hang on, I know this sounds really bizarre, but I thought, hang on, why does my skin look so good?
Yeah.
What is this stuff? What's this stuff doing to me?
Is it eating my skin off? And I don't know.
But that's the most funny thing, because that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting there in an absolute appreciation of it. I was sitting there in absolute suspicion, thinking, hang on a second, what's the deal? It's just something funky's going on. And that was when I started to investigate the ingredients. And, obviously since meeting Kim and Cindy and being able to turn my world inside out and upside down and put it in a black bag and throw it out, I've had a chance, I've obviously had the insight to investigate all of this sort of stuff. What my question is, I guess, and where I'm going with this is, and I really want you to answer this because it's almost like a sales pitch, I think, but what I really want to question here is that there are so many natural products on the marketplace, and I'm going to be upfront, they are shit. They're
Yep.
crap. Excuse my language. I do this every show. Oh, I'm
That's
sorry
all
for
right.
making the
We,
same.
we love the occasional.
Oh no, it's
where
not. It's not good. It's not good on the podcast. Sorry, everybody. But it's hard to find a natural product that's effective.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, a lot of people who are those that pursue a natural lifestyle are ferociously looking for these natural products that are effective. You know, they combat the lines. They make us feel like, you know, our skin is looking vibrant and alive. Now,
Yes.
I'm looking at your website and I'm looking at skin illuminators and peachy sleep concealers, and
Yes.
I'm looking at your range here. Can you speak to that question?
Yes, I can. I guess I like to try and use analogies, whether it's to do with cooking or something that we all understand rather than something that's a little bit more scientific. But I guess one example I like to use is this. If you and I both decide to make a banana cake, the chances are we're both going to make a banana cake and have one to eat. But how you make that and how I make that are probably going to vary. And it's going to be based on the quantity of the ingredients that we use. You might use no sugar, I might use sugar. It's going to work on the quality of the ingredients, how long it's been cooked, etc., etc. But ultimately, we've both produced a banana cake. So when you're looking at a natural product, or let's compare apples with apples. I mean, if you're comparing a mineral foundation with a mineral foundation, it's the same thing. They're both mineral foundations, but the quality of those minerals that have been used, how they've been refined, what else they've added in, and, you know, maybe the way that these pigments have also been milled and the fineness of them will differ greatly. So just because the ingredients are the same or appear to be the same, it will not mean that that end product is going to be the same. And that's extremely frustrating. And I can't provide a one answer on how to solve that other than this. Sample the products. And this is something else that Adorn offers. And we are the only colour cosmetic company worldwide that has an ongoing sample program, not here we've released this new blush, let's just do samples of it until everybody's tried it. No, we offer samples all the time, and there's a number of reasons for that. One, because of what we've just discussed. There are so many products out there that do not deliver. And you know what? Sometimes the products, it's not them, it's not the product, it just doesn't deliver for that person and their expectations. Some people like, you know, full coverage. Someone else might want a barely there coverage. Skin types vary. Skin is an organ. It changes daily based on what you've done to it the day before. So you're never going to find one product that's good for everybody. And you know what? There's some Adorn products that may not be suitable for everybody. So I don't like marketing hype that makes people believe that everything's a one-stop shop and that everything suits everybody, because it's just not true. So for me, it's about providing samples. So what that does is it says to our consumers that, gee, if they're allowing us to sample this product, it must be good, because why would you do that? You just wouldn't give samples for people to realise it's crap. I'll use that word. I think I can use that word on the podcast, can I? So for me, the samples also help minimise consumers wasting their money. I can't, again, and it gets back to landfill and the environment, 70% of skincare and makeup gets put in the bin unused because, or less than half used, because people have bought the wrong thing. Why? Because they haven't had a chance to try it. It's in a blister pack. It's on the shelf. It's in a box. There's nothing, no testers, or they've been given a chance to try it by someone that doesn't understand their skin in different lighting. They've felt pressured, whatever the reasons are, but that is a monumental amount of waste. So for me, our samples help minimise landfill by making sure consumers get to try an array of products, whether it's one sample or we've got sample boxes, which you can probably see under the sample tab on the website there. So you get to try them in your lighting, with what you're comfortable with, and so you get that right. Because just because something's natural doesn't mean it won't work. Our products are so powerful. They've been used for TV. We've used them for stage, photographic, everything that you see on our websites, our makeup, it should still be quality. And so I guess sample the products, because you're never going to know as a consumer looking at the ingredients, or just looking at the ingredients, whether that means that product's going to be any good. As I said at the beginning, because of the integrity of those ingredients, and the quality will vary depending on the product. There is a section on the website that talks about ingredients, and, dispelling that sort of that myth around, natural ingredients and how sometimes they don't seem to be any good and why. So it does talk about the different milling and that sort of side of it. So hopefully that'll help a little bit more there. But look, when I started 9 years ago, I mean, there was just nothing really available. And, for me, the biggest hurdle was educating people that the couple of natural things they had tried that were not great, that just because they've had that experience doesn't mean everything's not great. Like, give it a try, sample it. And so for me, that was the biggest hurdle when I started, was just re-educating women that you can go back to basics and still have a really amazing outcome. And in most instances, better than what they're using from what I would call like a synthetic ingredient product.
So, Briony, you have given us like so much information, and your knowledge of skincare and what we're after, what we're looking for, is spectacular. For our listeners, where can they go to follow you, find out more, to try your products, to grab those gorgeous samples, which I've just placed an order for? Let me just say.
That wasn't the intention of the podcast, but thank you for the order.
Yeah, no. If you heard me tapping on my my keyboard, that was me.
Yeah.
Where can our listeners go to find more?
Sure. Okay, so look, we do have select stockists, and the reason that we get asked, why don't we have more stockists? Why aren't we in department stores? Health food stores? The short answer is that we are very passionate about our ethos. I'm very passionate about my staff understanding it and following it. So I find that can be diluted if you are in too many stores that don't share your passion. So we are only in a very select amount of stockers. So I have to apologise, but not apologise for that either, because I know that buying from us direct means they get true and accurate information. We do have, so the stockists are listed on the website there. We've got some overseas, and they're scattered around Australia. Obviously, online, we have the sample program for people who are concerned about trialling the colours and the product type. There is also the first of its kind virtual colour matching service. So this is not here's a model, do you look like her, use these products? No, because that's just ridiculous to me. The virtual colour matching service is one where you can upload a photo of yourself, and please make sure that's very clear lighting, including your décolletage, because your décolletage is what you must match your foundation to, not your neck and not your face, your décolletage, because it's usually a little bit darker and it stops you looking washed out, especially for those of us that are the 40-plus age group. Our décolletage is usually about a shade darker than our face. So that's one anti-aging tip I could give everyone. Match it as much as it kills you, because you're used to wearing something a bit lighter. Match your décolletage. So the colour matching service, you upload a photo, pick the products you're interested in. Our real human team, and sometimes it's even me, will analyse your photo, we'll select the shades that are best for you, and then we recommend that you purchase the samples in those to try. You're always welcome to come into our showroom as well and book an appointment, and you can have a colour matching service done there as well.
And where's your showroom located? We're
in Mount Waverley, Victoria.
Oh, okay, you're too far away. I want to go now.
I reckon.
Well, we've got an open day coming up on October is it the 14th, the Saturday, or is that the 13th? Oh, can't
The
think.
13th is a Saturday.
Okay, so we've got an open day. So anyone that wants to come into the Mount Waverley office, they can come and meet me and also have some colour matching done. They will need to book in if they want colour matching done by giving the girls a call in the office. Do you want that number, or it is on the website?
Well, let's give our listeners the website. So it's all the W's.adorn, ADORN, cosmetics.com. So if you guys are interested in getting some more information, securing your spot in that colour matching service, going in and meeting Briony and the team, make sure that you go to the website at adorncosmetics.com.au.
And I'll just finish with letting you know that anyone that does purchase online, they do get free shipping for their first order, because I know it's a bit nerve-wracking, again, spending money on something new, and you do get 10% off your first order as well, just to make it a little bit less nerve-wracking going into a new brand.
Amazing.
And Briony, I absolutely love the way your packaging arrived. You use the same packaging that I do. I love the fact that you have little samples and cards and how to. And for people who want to know how to apply their makeup, I love all your tutorials that you do, particularly for women my age, because like you say, every makeup tutorial I see is with with these young women that is just really hard to understand, with our eyelids drooping slightly or the skin getting more wrinkly, so we don't look like mutton dressed up as lamb. So I just want to thank you for all you give.
Look, it's my pleasure. I actually, we get daily emails from women that are actually, it's almost tear-jerking, because they've had their lives changed, and that's their words, because they have never known what to do. And I think that it's sad that women are feeling like they either can't wear makeup or whatever the reason, when they really can. But yes, you just have to make a few little minor changes. Some products don't even worry about anymore, because of whatever reason, it might be droopy eyelids. There's no point wearing eyeliner. But for me, I always keep the tutorials very raw. They're unedited, and so they're often, either in the office or some part of my house or wherever I might be travelling at the time. Because for me, I want everyone to see how it really actually looks as you're doing it, not edited where you don't actually know how to follow it or get to that end result. Thank you so much.
And can I just say the new BB cream? OMG. It is my favourite BB cream I have ever used, so thank you.
Oh, yay.
No, my pleasure, my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. Anytime you want to go through any particular things to do with makeup or environment, please have me again. I love talking this.
Oh, well, I've loved having
Can you please come to the Sunshine Coast and travel with us and do our makeup for every event and make us look beautiful? Yes. And can you be our new bestie now? And can we just play with you? I'm so excited to have had you on the show. I have followed you for 19 years, and to virtually meet you is like you're one of my heroes. So thank you, Briony.
Oh, I feel very, very chuffed. Thank you so much. Look, anything I can do to help, let me know. I'm more than happy to.
Awesome. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I've just bought the BB cream as well.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to have to get on that website, because I need lipstick. I've lost all my lipsticks.
Do it. Go.
I need some BB cream.
Yeah, there's a lipstick sample box there too. Grab that, so then you're happy with the colours that way.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. Mm-hmm.
Briony, thank you for an amazing morning. Thank you for a fabulous, fabulous show. For all of our listeners, please go and check out adorncosmetics.com.au. My love, you've been an absolute gem. Thank you for being a part of our world, and I'm going to look so forward to getting my goodies. And I'm going to make sure that I do up my face like I used to when I was a kid and put a picture of myself on our Facebook.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Well, thank you for having me again. Thank you for everybody that does support Adorn. It is a family-owned business, so all of my staff and all of my family are honoured every time we get a new customer. So thank you.
Much love.
Thank you.
So for all of our listeners, we hope you've loved today's podcast. Something really fabulous around self-care, self-love. Really take the time to put a bit of effort. I love it. I really love it. I don't make myself up look like a Barbie doll, but I just love putting that little bit of time into myself. It feels very self-nurturing. It's up to you guys what you want to do. Depends on how girly you are. Anywho, Head on over to our Facebook page at allthews.facebook.com/up-for-a-chat, or you can also go to our Wellness Couch page at allthewellnesscouch.com/up-for-a-chat, and you can post your comments and your questions right there. Make sure that you tune in next week for Up for a Chat, where we become part of the ripple effect that's changing the world. And we're going to see you in your beauty on the ride. Bye for now, everybody.
This has been a production of TheWellnessCouch.com. Check us out on Facebook and join in the conversation on Facebook.com/TheWellnessCouch. Subscribe to each show on iTunes and check us out on Twitter. The Wellness Couch, streaming wellness into your lives. Whilst the Wellness Couch presenter endeavor to provide accurate and helpful information to their listeners, these podcasts cannot take into account individual circumstances and are not intended to be a substitute for health and medical advice from a qualified health professional. You should always seek the advice of a qualified health professional before acting on any of the information provided by any of the Wellness Couch podcasts.